Kami-sama, literally, viewers, Kami-sama is going to be colossal, and I really believe so. Not just because it is Kolossal Games, the company that's going to bring it out, but because although this is just a prototype, it is already shaping up to be an absolutely beautiful, very original game. As you know, I am quite keen on Japanese and Oriental kind of theme to the game, and Kami-sama seems to be hitting an awful lot of sweet spots. Now, you may know Kolossal Game from previous videos. If you don't, please do watch those videos because you're missing out a great deal, and this is going to be their second game. Kami-sama, this is a bit of a departure from the old Far West to come directly to the other side of the planet. Tell me a little bit about the story of Kami-sama. Where does this game come from?
So this game is designed by AJ Lambeth, who he showed me this game at a convention, and I was like, there's some neat ideas in here. I gave him some notes just as a courtesy because he was a nice guy. He got a hold of me a few months later and was like, hey, I thought about your advice and I implemented it. I'd like to show you the game. I ended up signing the game and hiring him full-time to be a developer. So AJ now works with us as a developer, and AJ lived in Japan as an English teacher. And AJ has an extremely deep and profound love of Japanese culture, and in particular the Shinto tradition. He's very knowledgeable about the Shinto tradition. So the concept of Kami-sama is that the players are going to play as these Japanese spirits, these Japanese, they're not gods, but they're spirits, more consistent with the Shinto tradition. And so just like in the culture, there's not a singular representation of something like, for example, the forest. There could be multiple forest spirits. It's not just a single one, like Thor is the god of thunder. There'd be many gods of thunder. So the idea of the game is the players are going to depict a kami, and they're going to be affecting these 4 villages at the foot of this mountain in Japan in the past. There's a holy village, a farming village, a wealthy village, and a fishing village. Okay, they're all very different. And your kami are going to also be very, very different. Each kami is, in fact, entirely asymmetrical from one another. I mean, this game pushes asymmetry to a crazy extent. Whereas one character may do something, another character may have, like this character has this track, this character uses specific tokens that no other character uses. And what you're going to be doing over the course of the game is you're going to be in a village, and another player is going to be in another village, and and so on. So it plays 2 to 4 players. On your turn, you're going to be able to affect the village that's in front of you. As you place your shrines, you're going to be working toward building patterns that are on these goal cards, and if you build the patterns, then you're going to get a token for that village. If you collect a set of all 4 tokens, you can turn those in for a lot of points. You're also going to be trying to have strings of shrines to have the most for a majority style mechanism. At the end, after everyone's played in each village once, that's the end of the round. There's 3 rounds in a game. Whoever has the most contiguous shrines in a village is going to get to first pick in a draft of the villager that they want to be one of their followers, one of their disciples. So here you see, I could go, oh, well, I have the advisor, maybe I have this merchant, this elder, and you're going to take it based off of what you want. Some of them are going to give you victory points at the end of the game. Some of them are going to have really good abilities. Some of them are going to have both. There's going to be things like peasants, and they're only worth half a point. So you want to make sure that you're trying to do really well in the season because you're going to end up with just the peasant. And the peasant's only going to even be worth a point if he's paired with another peasant. So after you take your turn, after everyone takes their turn, now I'm in the next village. My opponent's now affecting what I just built. And then we're going to keep playing, and as we keep playing, the board's going to rotate, and the board's going to fill up slowly but surely, and it's going to get harder and harder to play. I don't have the player mat out here, but you also have 2 tracks, nature and favor. So if you place in a field, you're bringing food to the community, you're getting favor. If you place in a forest, you're more in tune with the natural world, so you're getting nature. There's 2 tracks. At the end of each round, you're going to see what's your lowest score on those 2 tracks. So if I had 10 nature but only 2 favor, I'm only going to score 2 points. So it's the idea of trying to balance this, which is part of the Shinto tradition, the idea of balancing nature, mankind's involvement with nature, the surroundings, and their world. We're not people, we're part of a world. And that's what one of the ideas and concepts that the game is trying to really embrace, is this idea that these people are very much, the world around them is why these spirits exist. It's why their faith is the way that it is, their decisions they make, how they care about things, how they eat, everything. It's all encompassing. So that's something that we're trying to include in the game.
It already comes across in a very compelling way. Not just getting a bunch of mechanisms and pasting a theme over it, but it feels very tied with the Shinto philosophy, which it feels absolutely fantastic. Akira, I would like to know, what are you looking forward the most about producing this game?
Oh, well, we've got a few different things here. So we've got a very interesting board that we're working with here. Right now, this is, as you know, a prototype, but we're looking to have this be almost a puzzle, if you will, so that maybe in the future we could have new villages come to play, but they'll fit together in a puzzle way. So that, and then also the socketing that you see that we have to consider. So the thickness of the board is going to be important when we're talking about production, and so it's a little bit, we have to work through that. The other thing I'd say are these our different shrines. So these are some of the different concepts that we've been working on with Arnaud, who's amazing, who's been helping come up with some of these ideas to see what looks good on the board. Do we want something more round, more square? What are the costs going to be for that? Make sure, again, that we're thinking through our overall cost for our backers and ourselves, and the profits that we want to be able to make in order to pay the amazing game designer, the people who are doing the amazing art behind the game, Gong Studios, who's just fantastic, and we are just really excited to work with them, so making sure that we're getting all of our art on time as well, so that we can deliver on all these amazing different things here.
There is one thing that it strikes me. The game, some people might feel tempted to criticize the game for being a game with a very Japanese, very deeply spiritual feel and design to it that has not been designed by a Japanese person. What are you guys, from the company point of view, not necessarily the design, but from the company point of view, making to be sure that the game is as respectful as possible to the Japanese culture that it originates from?
We've done actually quite a bit of research. Like I said, AJ spent a long time in Japan, and he's very familiar. Anytime we go in and we get artwork, AJ will he'll go, oh, well, that rope actually should be this color. That's not correct. Actually, a monk would not be wearing those colors. This would be correct. Actually, he should have 3 rings at the end of his staff because those 3 rings represent this. So there's a lot of attention to detail is being paid. The way that we look at this is we're not looking at it from the perspective of this is voyeurism, cultural voyeurism. We're looking at it as this is a celebration of cultural diversity. It's a world that a lot of people don't know about, and that's one of the things that's great about board games is you get to teleport to these magical places, different times, through time, space, whatever, made-up worlds, and you get to, kind of partake in that, even in a small portion through something like a game. And I think that this does this very well.
It certainly feels like it, and paired with the very original thing about rotating the board, it already feels exciting. I'm looking at this and thinking, yeah, I can see myself playing this quite a lot. This is again going to come at Kickstarter, and you're going to release it in Kickstarter at an absolutely crazy time after your first game. You really are wasting no time whatsoever. How are you going to manage that?
Well, we are, always working on our games. We're very far along on this game. Again, it's going to be launched 3 weeks after Western Legends, so February 20th. And we're already working through all of these issues and concerns about making sure that the production is going to go smoothly. With the socketing, we were actually, while we were here even, thinking through ways that we can do this to make sure it's going to hold together well, that the board presence is going to stay consistent, that the players can't accidentally damage their boards, and all those things are already in consideration this early, right? We're not waiting until the Kickstarter is going. We're thinking through all the way through what the stretch goals could potentially provide to our backers for quality purposes and everything, so that we can plan way ahead and know that if we got to the max, because we feel that we will, have a very great Kickstarter because it's a beautiful game, that we are already ready with all the things we need with the production house and our white copies ahead of time to make sure that it's going to come out great and it's going to hit all the deadlines on time.
Well, I am already looking forward to seeing this on the table. Seriously, of all the games I've seen so far, the show, I want that. I really want to see that. So best of luck with the Kickstarter. I will be following very, very closely, and I hope you smash it through the roof a few times. Best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.